All right, Mackee.
All right.
All right. Who are you?
Who am I?
Yeah.
I'm Mackey. uh, I've been playing this game for probably since about like I've been taking it like seriously since like 2015. But I started playing the game like when everyone started playing the game. Like Guitar Hero 2, Guitar Hero 3. I remember I was over at my boy's house. He was like my neighborhood friend. Homies when you're like 8 years old, and he had Rock Band. And he was playing drums. And just speaking of drums, I was like, yo, this is like cool shit ever. Cause like I like music and shit. Hottest take of the day.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, yo, this looks super fun. So yeah, I got Guitar Hero as a kid, got up to like expert, um, beat like Guitar Hero 3 career. I was like, oh, that's cool. Then 2015, I was like, yo, you guys remember Guitar Hero? So I looked up what everyone looks up. I looked up Through Fire and Flames 100% FC expert, came across Guitar Hero Phenom's video. I was like, what the fuck is this? And here I am.
Yeah. Yeah, Mackey, so I did tell people that we were gonna do the Drew, Will, and you thing,
Yeah.
but that's next week. So yeah, because Drew fell asleep and then he showed up late and then that was GG.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got Explorer, no Jeffrey. So it'll just be us three.
Yeah, a bit of a downgrade, not gonna lie.
Yeah. We definitely fell off. It's unfortunate. But
Yeah, I'm not watching the Clone Hero podcast anymore. It's kind of washed.
yeah, kind of washed. No more Rock Band legacy players. We'll just I don't know. We'll just start talking about whatever we want. You got anything specific? We were just talking about epidermis. We can continue on to that.
Yeah. Mackie, you know more about that than Ghost and I do. So if you want to say what you think about that.
So, for those of you that are unaware, there's a very famous drum chart in rock, known as epidermis, and it's famous because it's absolute horseshit. it's
Yeah.
really hard. So like there's been like some progress on it. Like the last progress that's been on it, Jared Maze Geek's video where he got the first ever gold star and he FC'd like up to the solo, which is like ridiculous. But now we got Mike Broken Toad. He's been doing some grinds of it like past 5 days. I've been in the streams and like he's close. Like you know he's gonna get it like any moment.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely I definitely got to get in there for that because if I mentioned this earlier, if there's one FC that because I regret missing certain FCs. I regret missing Chiasm when it originally happened. I regret there's a ton of stuff, but if there's one FC that I absolutely cannot miss, it's got to be this one. And the only other thing I guess I wanted to add was, we were saying this earlier as well, but we can agree, all of us can kind of agree that across all, Guitar Hero, Rock Band, Clone Hero included, in terms of, the games that people still play today, Megalodon is probably the best thing that's been done as of right now. But if this gets done, I think, and many people I've spoken to agree, Mackey does as well, that this, epidermis drums would be the GOAT accomplishment for like on any instrument, any particular instrument, any game, that would just be it, in my opinion. So
Yeah, I while you were saying that, I spilled fucking ranch on my desk, and I'm kind of pissed.
I saw the like 3 Domino's ranch things you had.
Yeah,
Are you just like munching on like carrots and ranch?
No, I got some chicken tenders today, and
Oh
yeah, and I just fucking spilled it, and I'm pissed off.
no.
So that's annoying. But something that when this argument comes up of is Chiasm better or is Megalodon better, people are always going to scream that oh, you can't compare across engines. And it's like you couldn't compare maybe is this section harder than this section or yada yada. But it's like the caliber of player required to get something done on a specific engine can definitely be compared, I would say, or a lot easier can be thought of. The caliber of player required to do Megalodon and Clone Hero is the same caliber of player that would take like Green Grass and High Tides on Rock Band 1, which Steven is like, and fucking
Yeah.
Dina Zord as well. Those dudes.
I'm really
Yeah,
I'm
I
really
saw
looking
that.
forward
I
to
was
seeing
like,
that.
holy.
Yeah, I was watching Dean in stream the other day, and he's nasty. He's nasty with it. You can't. I would say you can. There's an argument to be made. I guess maybe the song itself or whatever, the chart itself can't be compared, but you can't be a shitty player and do these things. So you can definitely compare the effort required to put into it. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, the process of this the progress of this FC has been years of progress. Literally, like the most I know like Jared's run up to the solo has like what 18,000 likes or something or whatever. I think it hit the algorithm or something. I hope that if Mike gets, I hope that video hits the algorithm too, because I think it's it would just like, I think like that really, it would be super cool to see that, done. So,
Yeah. It would be super sick also because we also wouldn't get the annoying kids on Reddit being like, play real guitar. My man Mike does play real drums, so get fucked.
yeah, literally a lot of the drummers, because it requires good because I was a like musician in high school, so like there's definitely a lot of like sort of percussion fundamentals that are kind of required to really excel at drums, like Maze Geek Jared, for example, is a drummer. I think a popular band or something like that. I don't know too much about that, but I know I read that he's like extremely popular with that. So
yeah.
No, I mean it makes a lot of sense, like we played rhythm games, right? Like music games. Like it makes sense that a lot of people, actually do music in the community, which I always thought was super dope because I obviously love music.
Yeah, I recently saw a video that was just like going over why Guitar Hero failed. It was by like a metal news outlet channel, and that was like pretty cool to see. But this game
Really?
it's definitely a lot more tied to music than people give it credit for, honestly.
Oh yeah. I mean, like my whole like music taste is like pretty much from the game, like the OGs, like metal shit on like Guitar Hero 2, Guitar Hero 3, like that's my vibe.
Yeah. No, music if you just go back, if you started on console and you go back and play it, you will just come across songs you're like, "Holy fuck, this was a banger back in the day and I completely forgot about it." And it'll just revitalize some interest in music that you had.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you're welcome. By the way, um, so I guess we could just move on to this whole fucking shit show Twitter thing with Prevail 110 and kind of just that entire channel, I guess.
yeah,
All right.
yeah, that whole thing. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so for the people at home, what we're talking about is the Prevail 110 FC by Ian, which at first glance I was watching it because Jeff mentioned it to me, and I was like, oh, let me go watch it, and it was like pretty hard to watch. It's just a lot of brute force, as Mike and I were saying earlier. It's just a lot of brute forcing through the song, which by if you want to do that, go ahead, obviously, but it's not at all enjoyable to watch for me, and it just kind of it just cares. It's like it's you're just doing the same method for every song at different timestamps. So why should I give a fuck? That's kind of how I feel about it. But the big thing with it is that the channel that it comes from, being Ian, all of his videos basically after Shmooey have been like new setup, new state, new country, new mic, new webcam setting, new blah blah blah. Like it's never consistent. The quality control on it just doesn't make sense. You just can't tell if you're gonna watch a video and there's gonna be audio or there's not gonna be audio. If there's gonna be a webcam or not. If it's gonna be a re-recorded run. If it's gonna be stuttery. If there's gonna be weird ass glitches that hop up.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's what's funny, and I'm not saying Ian, does this, or Ian specifically does it for this reason, because I don't know why. But I know, I see a ton of people that do weird shit with their webcam, have all these, I guess, isms inside their recordings, and a lot of it, back in the day at least, was people, trying to copy Shmooey, trying to be like Shmooey, and obviously now we can sort of see, listen, I know for a fact, I'm extremely confident that Ian is not fake, because obviously I've seen him play. It's just mainly a whole thing. People are so concerned, when you have one person who's able to manipulate a community for 2.5 years, just basically taking complete control, playing God, basically. If someone's able to do that, at the very least, I think I actually like, while this discussion was happening, I just tweeted something out. I said, if you're a newish top player, and Ian's not a newish player, he's been around for a long time, but like any other new top player, you've been around for a year, and not many people know who you are, there's literally no reason to not be playing with a webcam. There's like zero reason. So
Yeah.
that's sort of my thing, because and when it comes to like Windows and stuff, like my computer is like my computer ain't the best. Like a lot of the components on it are from like 2014, literally, and I'm still able to get a lot of good stuff, a lot of good frames. The only reason some of my clips are 30 FPS, the only reason is I just trim them using the Windows trimmer, and I uploaded them on Twitter. But all my videos um, are like the 60 FPS. I make sure that the quality is good, especially mainly after this whole Shmooey incident happened. I want to make sure that because it's annoying to get called fake, so you want to do what you can to make sure your videos have nothing.
No, absolutely. I feel like it's the thing is like all of us like kind of as a community now are like very like our walls are up, right? Because you
Yeah.
have someone like Nui that was literally such like a figurehead, right? Like turns out cheating all the time. Now everyone's looking at everyone's videos and is like, oh, why does the webcam flicker for this one frame or
Yeah.
like shit like that, because it's just such like a case of it's like, all right, now we're like we gotta make sure this doesn't happen again because
Yeah.
egregious.
Yeah, for
It was
sure. It makes
destructive. It
sense.
was incredibly destructive. People, we thought that the skill ceiling was, you know, at, an unrealistic, in reality was like a fake skill ceiling that we've sort of just been following for all these years. That's not, there's definitely like, it's not, everyone's like, oh, it's just cheating in a video game. It's not. It's more than that. This is stuff that people actually do care about. And,
No, exactly.
when
It's like
people,
oh, go ahead.
oh, I said when, this is stuff that people, enjoy watching, and, they take seriously, and they find that, certain aspects of what they've been watching have just all been a lie. It's just a mess.
Yeah,
So,
it's just a matter of integrity, right? Because it's like I love this game, right? It's one of my favorite games like ever. Like I'm super passionate about it. That's why I still fucking play it.
Yeah.
So it's like to see someone like tarnish the integrity of like the game you put so much time and like effort and that you enjoy so much, it like I don't know, it just puts a sour taste in you. Like
Yeah, I'm really
it,
glad that even though that all that did come out, I did have like a small suspicion maybe that people would stop caring, but I didn't really think that would happen. It's actually kind of been the opposite. Like more people have been trying harder because they realized like what they were doing wasn't like for vain. Like you had some player, Schmilly, right, who was literally just obscenely good at everything, like better than the
mm,
best players in their
mhm.
own like specific things, right? Like he was just straight up better in like 2 weeks than like Frith at tapping, or like
yeah.
you know Jarvis or Jobu at speed tapping, or
Yeah, it was like out of nowhere.
like for just anything, which was ridiculous and it was insanely demotivating. And
Yeah,
so we remember what it was like, trying to grind something that we saw Shmooey do, and we try it and like,
Mhm.
oh, can't do that. Oh, can't do it 5% speed less. Oh, not 20 less. Oh, not even 30. Why am I playing this game? Like
Yeah.
it's so frustrating to have that happen. And then once we were like, holy fuck, I wasn't like actually like inadequate. I was just playing against a fucking cheater. You don't want
Yeah.
that
No.
feeling again. It sucked.
No, but I also feel like it also is like this is honestly kind of a bit of a problem that I see like often within the community. It's like the concept of like constantly comparing yourself to someone that's better than you or someone that's like seems to just get the game easier than you. Like that's if you fall kind of into that mindset, it's kind of your first pitfall to like actually improving and getting better at the game because you're always going to think it's like, oh, this person's better than me. Like, oh, like it's a legitimate problem, and like I think like that's honestly a mindset that I think is probably holding a decent amount of people back from like actually like because your whole sense of like self improvement and like it all comes from like your self. Like you have to motivate yourself solely for the concept of you getting better, not for you being better than this person kind of thing. I feel like that's just kind of like a mindset thing that like can hinder people sometimes.
It's especially whenever you start comparing yourself. I mean, I still do it. We all do it all the time, right?
Oh yeah, I do it all the time. I'm not like
Yeah, and
I
uh,
I said I'm doing. I will be hypocritical.
yeah, it the most harmful part about it is that it makes you not enjoy the game. It kind of makes you sour and hate the game. And that's like the exact opposite of what you want if you want to get better. You want to find a way to make this game as enjoyable as it was for you day one as it is now. Like enjoying what it is that you're doing, you will become astronomically better just relative to any other way. Like I've never improved at something and I thought while I'm hating it. It's just not realistic. And so when you're constantly doing things that you're telling yourself are going to make you better, but it just makes you hate the game, you're not going to be better. You're not going to care about the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. I've mentioned this a few times where, um, and this will be the last time I mention it, I guess, but I feel like if you have to look up a video on how to get better, like at the game, then you probably should be playing it because you should be improving naturally just by enjoying it, because if
Yeah.
you're not improving, it's likely because you're feeling burnt out and you're not enjoying it. And I mean, if you're having fun with the game, you shouldn't really it shouldn't be too big of a deal at how much you improve, because you're just having fun with the game. That's what you're playing for.
Yeah,
And
if I may clarify, this isn't for someone that's like completely new and doesn't know what a downstream is or an upstream. If you need to learn how to anchor and what anchoring is, that's completely fine. He's more so talking about you've got the game figured out in its basic fundamentals. You should be looking up a tutorial as to why you should become better or how to find motivation to become better at the game.
Yeah.
mhm. I
Not
guess
to shamelessly self plug, but I did make a tutorial where I kind of like talked about that kind of stuff and like the stuff I'm talking about here, like on that podcast, like it really is about like it is the most important thing is like you have to remember like why you started playing the game in the first place. Like you have to remember to have fun with it, and if
Yeah.
that means taking a break from even improving or like going for that thing you've wanted for so long, like then like you need to enjoy the game or else it's just going to be so miserable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that helps. That's a really good point because I know, and by the way, I saw, I didn't get a, I know you made that video. I didn't get around to watching it. I should get around to watching it like very soon. Maybe I'll do it after this. But I know that's a very important point you made because when you think about why you played the game in the first place, I'm thinking about when I was at my friend's house in like 2008 and I was playing the game and I was like, yo, this is the coolest thing ever. This is fun. And I was like, I just wanted to play it. I didn't care about getting any FCs or any of that stuff. I was just playing it. And I thinking back to that, time, it's sort of like, it's similar to, say you're majoring in something in college that you've been interested in all your life. You think of, if you get stressed or burnt out from it, you're kind of like, it's always good to sort of go back and remember, well, why did I want to, major in this in the first place? I mean, computers is a big example. You see a lot of people getting into computer science or whatever, and they, because they enjoy, computers and all that stuff, when they're younger and whatnot. So it's like, it's one of those things. It could be applied to anything, really. If you're struggling on something and you feeling like something isn't fun, besides taking a break, the best thing to do is to sort of just, remember back to, when, why you played in the first place or why you do what you do in the first place. It's a great tip, yeah. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's literally the whole reason why I've been playing GHU Xenia a ton recently. Like, it feels like relearning the game all over again, and it's like the engine is so perfect. It's so fun.
I still haven't played it somehow. I've just been too fucking lazy. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
download it. It's so easy. Alec made a tutorial. Like it.
Yeah.
Customs are literally easier than it's ever been. Like, I honestly, I want more Clone Hero people to play that game, because let me tell you right now, I'm not gonna lie, that game fucking humbles you.
Oh yeah, definitely. It did humble me for sure. I mean, personally, I guess like the game, it's just not really. I mean, it's an awesome game and it's cool people are playing it, but I guess it's just I don't really find it as fun. But that's just a personal thing. It doesn't mean the game's bad or anything. I was able to hit like Treeverse or something on there, which and it's cool. It definitely. What I will say is that it makes Clone Hero like so much easier
Oh
because
yeah.
It really does.
it makes everything feel like it's free in a way, and it's sort of you sort of like with Rafnets and whatnot, you sort of learn to appreciate the fact that you do a quad input on Clone Hero, likely you don't have to worry about missing. Meanwhile, with GH2, you really
Shut up.
gotta. Oh, oh shit!
Shut
I'm
up.
sorry
Don't
about
talk about
that.
quads and calling them free, I swear. That's
Oh,
really fucked
I
up.
swear, I swear I did not like realize that.
Yeah. Yeah, Mike, if you don't know, quads are the absolute bait of me. I think I could probably FC Big Bang after like 3 hours of trying. That's where I'm standing at with quads right now.
Odds. All right. Are we descending gang or ascending gang here?
For ascendings are much easier in my opinion.
Yeah, I like, yeah, ascendings are cool in my opinion, or easier
Man,
for me.
I'm on a
I
podcast
know.
with ascenders. Descending quads are the. I don't know.
I
No.
mean,
It feels so nice to hit descending quads.
yeah, if it's like, I mean, for me, I guess it really just depends on the speed. If it's like, um, if it's stuff like, I'm trying to think of a song, but like, I guess that are sort of on the moderate side when it comes to like speed. I guess like Big Bang speed, if like for, quads, like I'll try, hitting them clean is and like accurately it's satisfying to hit. But
Yeah.
if it's like really fast stuff, I'm gonna probably just be doing like ascendings or ascending or zigs or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's just one part of the game I haven't figured out yet, unfortunately. I'm getting there. But with GH2, something that I really what it really does is it really shows you which part of your game you're actually good at. So when GH2 Deluxe came out for the RPS3 whatever one, the PS2 version, and I
Yeah.
started doing like I started just like trying to play like tapping stuff and random stuff. I was like, man, this is just fucking hard. I couldn't do it initially, so what I started doing was I started playing strumming stuff, and there was one night that I hopped into VC with Alec, and I just started doing like some crazy shit. Like I hit half of the Daddy Brother solo on
Yeesh.
GH2 Deluxe, which is wild, and that kind of showed me as like, well, I spent a lot of time on straight lines, and that's like one of the few things I can do in this game. So you have to be absolutely fucking solid. You have to
No.
absolutely be solid to hit shit on these engines.
That game, yeah, like that game and any other console game will like super like chump check you in terms of like your fundamentals. It's like, oh, you accidentally ghosted one note. Oop. Nope.
Fuck
Yeah,
you.
you
Yeah,
lost it.
yeah, fucking gone. You just. It's not a sense of a clone hero. You need some basic fundamentals, and then after that, you can fly by the seat of your pants. For these
Oh, yeah,
games,
for sure.
it's not a skill level and fundamentals. It's like it's all fundamentals.
Yeah.
You don't luck your way through it.
Yeah, you pretty much have to do it like, exactly right. Like exactly how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, and that's obviously lost nowadays. That's not something that people really give a fuck about. Is doing it exactly the right way anymore. Which I think, even if you don't like Xenia and you try it out and you don't like it and you hate it, whatever. But if you
Yeah,
really,
I mean,
if you really want to improve your baseline level in the game, it's so highly recommended. Or any
no,
console game.
oh, for sure. No, and honestly, like, going back and playing like the older console games is like, if like as I was mentioning earlier, if you're feeling like burnt out with Clone Hero, like that's honestly some of the most fun you can have, like playing like Guitar Hero, because it's cool to just like go through set lists and like see like the OG songs, and like even just playing on the engine, it's so like different, and you get like used to the quirks of each engine, and I love that aspect of it. And that's like my kind of personal thing. It's like that's why I love those console games, because it's like, it really like it pushes you in like a really like challenging way, and I kind of love that about that.
Yeah, I see like tighter engines as like the training grounds. Like that's where you go to hone yourself. And then if you really want to display how far you've come along, you can obviously do that there. But if you swap over to Clone Hero and you're absolutely masterclass in fundamentals, you will fucking destroy everything in your path. Like,
Yeah.
we could come up with a hypothesis, or just, think about like if some crazy crack player like Pang or like King Chevy or like Dan came back in full force, right, on Clone Hero, and they just started doing the craziest shit that they could think of, dude, there would be like no hiding spots. Like everywhere is gone.
Yeah.
And they built themselves on that shit. Like, go watch Jordan one-handed on GH2. That's so fucking.
I love
so
that.
dumb.
That video is so fucked. I think about that. I think about that video a lot. I'm like, I feel like people forgot about this. People shouldn't forget about this. This is stupid.
Yeah, no, I don't think I could FC one-handed on Clone Hero in like 3 tries, honestly. Like, it's the level.
It's fast.
It's fast. There's a difference between being able to outpeak somebody in terms of raw speed or some shit like that versus, yeah, I could do like 90% like all the time. Like I could do what you do, but 90% just like out the gate. I don't have to think about it. Being able to bust out shit like that is nuts. The consistency required. Consistency is so, it's so hard to measure, but it's so necessary.
No, I feel like I feel like that's honestly what kind of like what you said about like going to the console games does. Like it just boosts your consistency. Like, and it kind of can be like an interesting like thought process to think about like rhythm games this way. Like Clone Hero is where you show your like peak skill. This is like top of like what I could physically do, while like the console games train that like consistency, that like that just overall fundamental to like just make you like a more well-rounded player.
Yeah.
And I feel like I feel like and not just to be like a good Clone Hero player, but like a good like Guitar Hero, or even just like 5-fret instrument player, like whatever vague way you got it, like you want to be like, I feel like, as well-rounded as you be.
You definitely do, and you want to do it in a sense. This is like a little bit more niche, but something that I always think back when I approach any song section or anything, I always want to use or play in a way that is the most one-to-one from what I'm doing and what my intention is versus what the song requires of me. I'm not gonna try and abuse hardware. I'm not going to try and get a crap ton of overtap through sliding, or I'm not going to try and abuse the hit window. I want a person to be able to watch with my webcam and chart exactly what it is that I'm playing. That's kind of what I think about. Like go watch some random FC, and if they're sliding, like good luck charting what it is that they're actually playing.
Yeah, for real. No, honestly, the person who set me on the right path was Drew, actually, last podcast episode guest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
when I first started playing the game, I remember I uploaded like one video where when I was like first starting to play the game, I had like IFC like reverse 80% speed, like full out just spinning the entire thing. Yeah. And I remember like immediately after I uploaded that video, Drew messaged me and was like, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, All right.
Yeah, something that I like doing is going into random Clone Hero streams like late at night, like when they're like one viewer Andy's. I love going to one viewer Andy streams and watching them try to learn the game, and then just be like, oh, you should try this. Like just helping them along, like giving them
No, I love that.
the guidance that I wish I had. You know, and
No, yeah,
it's something that I remind people to do. It's something that it's super small. Literally, I tell them it's like count in your head. I'll like one of the few things I'll ask. I'm like, "Are you a music nerd?" And they're like, "I know a little bit about music." I'm like, "Okay, I want you to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I want you to play along." You know, and it's like
yeah.
the difference is massive. I watched a guy go from like playing marathon and doing like double time inputs to me telling him to 1, 2, 3, 4, and he FC'd the section after doing that.
That's really cool. I honestly love going to like the Clone Hero section on Twitch, and sometimes just like going through like the like one viewer streams and just like seeing like it's cool to just see people play the game that you like so much. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
and it's also cool. I also just kind of like checking out those streams, and I always like to see it's like, oh, like who's gonna be like who's getting like good, like who
Yeah,
do
who's the
I
next?
like?
Who's the person I should watch out for? Because
Yeah, who's the person I should watch out for?
There's a
'Cause-
lot of people in that one viewer Andy range that are still really good at the game.
Oh my god! Not even just on Twitch, but like you know, like the Discord server, Clone Hero scoring challenges.
Yeah,
Shout out Clone Hero score challenges, by the way. But like there's so many people on that server that I feel like no, if you weren't on that server, you would not know how good they are. But they are really, really good.
I really want to get more into, you know, participating in the stuff there because I want to sort of make myself known on that sort of front as well. You know, I always thought because I do have, you know, I think I'm capable of doing that. But yeah, like that point is absolutely, there's a ton of players, and that's kind of what we were, I guess, when we made that list a few weeks ago, Ghost Jeff and I, we wanted to try to include players that you wouldn't normally see on those lists.
we included people like JRH,
Yeah,
you know, stuff like that. That guy's cracked. Like the guy's
JRH is so insanely good.
yeah.
Like it's ridiculous.
One of his he did FC one of his dumbest FCs that was like out of nowhere and just like how do you even do it was his illusory sense, right? Drop and sustains that shit. I think it was.
Yeah, double notes, dropless sustains.
It's so stupid. It's like not even a path in the game that you would expect someone to be good at or train, but it's
Like-
so fucking dumb.
Like, yeah, it's the most niche thing I've ever heard, but you watch that video and it's like, how do you do this?
Yeah. It's like some mech on shit where he's just like a fucking spider across the fretboard.
Literally, though.
It's like players like that just completely forget. They just break away from the idea that it goes from green, red, yellow, blue, orange. Like they stop thinking about it in terms of anchoring and not anchoring. They just think about it. That's a button. I'm gonna hit it. And that kind of play is so weird and so cool to watch.
It's wild. They're actually just built different.
Literally built differently.
I just love like I just love like seeing like more people like play the game, you know, like
so we'll just move on to the next topic because we're spent on that one. We love Guitar Hero, and
we do love Guitar Hero.
We love Guitar Hero. We're making a fucking podcast about it in 2022. We clearly are nerds about it.
Yeah.
And you know, we want to see the game progress in the way that it originally. Holy fuck! I just ripped a hole in my sock. That's fucking unfortunate. That's cringe. It's like
in the chat.
After the chat, bro, it was like a wet, sweaty spot I'm gonna be feeling when I walk around now. That's disgusting. But we love the game and the path that we grew up playing when starting on console.
Holes in socks.
Yeah, we love holes in socks. We just want to see that kind of the game. That we just want to see Guitar Hero progress, but on the fan made version, and it's not really going that way, which is unfortunate. And I wish more people would try and stick to that traditionalism, I guess, or pay homage to it in some capacity. Speaking of, Souls 4 FC was max spam. Can we talk about that?
Oh, brother.
Yeah, said it. I said it.
I'm not gonna lie. I haven't watched UFC. Um,
Well,
but
this is all you got to do. Well, I'll just tell you. All right, I'll tell you
uh-huh.
the quirky parts of it. Throwback, I believe, is quad zigged. Throwback B, I think it is.
Throwback?
The trips. I might be wrong on that, but anyways.
No shot.
Victory
Not
verse.
trips.
Victory verse was just strummed through. There was no galloping or accenting. It was just strummed through. And then stepping solo A was, I think it was raked after slid, which who cares. Breaker solo was absolutely horrendous.
All right, well, everyone spams the shit out of that section, so
Okay,
that doesn't surprise me.
I guess I'm just like the only one who doesn't. Dark solo was quad zigged. Dark solo A was quad zigged, which is like Widley.
The ascending trips?
No, the part before that, and well, that part too. But
Wait, what?
Yeah, the part before that, but also that was.
My brother in Christ just used ladders.
My brother in Christ just used ladders. Literally, people have been doing that since 2010 when Hollow came out. It's the exact same section. It's the exact same. It's not new.
It literally is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the exact same. It's not new. And this is the kind of brute forcing that the new meta has brought that I just don't really give a fuck about, honestly. I don't watch FCs that are like that because it's a different game to me and I don't like that game.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's like I'm not like I don't want to like completely discredit like people that get accomplishments like that. It's still like, you know, like some of the shit that like
I mean, I couldn't do it that way.
I can't fucking do that. Like I'll admit it right now, I can't. But like, yeah, there is something about it that does it kind of, you know.
Yeah,
it just kind of rubs you the wrong way. It doesn't feel right. I feel like I need to take a shower after watching it.
I ain't calling it free by any means, but it's like you're lying to people who don't know. So it was Jared's FC, right? There was like 600 people watching. How many of those people actually know how hard it is to hit each section? You know, probably 20 at most.
Yeah,
probably 20
it's,
at most.
You know, it's like I know, like the main goal is just seeing the FC screen at the end. Regardless of how it's done. Just as long as you get that FC screen, that's a lot mentality of a lot of players now. And I mean, I don't really care how any particular person or any one person plays, but it's like, I mean, people don't really want to see that become what Clone Hero is, and I don't blame them for that, because that's not I mean, the developers literally did not intend for that to happen, and a lot of it is due to RAF-nets, because you cannot get away with doing that. What is it? You cannot get away with what is it?
If you were to try and do that exact same thing,
Explorer.
Yeah, if you're trying to do that stuff in Explorer, you could in practice mode, but doing all those together like that is an absolute fucking coin flip. Not in Clone Hero with the RAF-net. It's a guarantee, basically.
Yeah, actual literal RNG.
Yeah, literal RNG. But with RAF-nets, it's like if you can form a 1, 2, 3, 4 or a 1, 3, 4, 5, you're big chillin' in Clone Hero. If you can do those. And it's like, I don't know, man. That song was FC'd back in 2019 in January with an Explorer. It's a beautiful FC. Like, there are some stuff that's spammed probably because it's Darkly, and he just likes to say, fuck this shit, and, get it over with. But, like, he was doing crazy shit even then. He was all tapping synthetic and alt tapping murder.
No, it was
just fucking stupid.
Like, yeah, no, that was ridiculous. Like, breaker solo, like his stepping the breaker method, like it's pretty ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
But kind of going off that, I feel like something that like I kind of noticed that people don't really understand is kind of like the like perception of skill in the community. Like, you may look at like two identical songs, say like for example, I don't know, like so like what's happy like Ed Trio, right?
Right.
Like you look at Ed Trio and you have two FCs of Ed Trio. I don't really feel like just because it's Ed Trio makes it the same FC. I feel like there's a lot more factors, like like were you playing on a RAFnet floor, how
Yeah.
clean were you? Like I feel like there's so much more involved with like how skill is kind of like defined when you're playing this game, that to boil it down to just like a single song FC or like anything like that, like I don't really feel like that's an accurate perception.
Yeah, players. You definitely, whenever you're watching players, they definitely have their own internal rule set that they follow when playing the game, and depending on how they try and carry themselves in the game, heavily affects the perception of the actual FC. Because someone who's adhering to the rhythm, like if you go watch a Chandler video, like you're probably gonna be confused as to how he's FCing anything, but the dude,
I love watching Chandler play.
yeah, watch a Chandler play, you're like, how the fuck does he hit this shit?
How the fuck do you play like this?
Yeah, but that dude is probably like one of the most rhythmically or like strictly adhering to the song player. Like he's one of the most. He's one of the all time.
Yeah.
One of all time.
Chandler's clean.
We're never gonna see a player like Chandler ever again. I'm putting money on that. I don't think, unless someone literally comes and tries to be just like Chandler, I don't think we're gonna ever see someone that naturally adapts to that sort of play style without, at least prior, I guess, inspiration or something like that. It's just, one of the most, arguably the most unique player ever. So,
yo, you know who I miss? I miss GH Noob.
GH Noob.
Oh yeah.
I showed a video.
GH Noob was clean.
Bro, I showed
fucked up.
I showed Trauma one of his videos, and he thought I was showing him like a bot. He thought I was
yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, I showed him his some Panger video. It was like solo 3. And I was like, yeah, this dude's cracked. He's like, is this even real? I was like, yeah, it's real. This is him. Like, there's no webcam, obviously, which sucks. I wish there was.
I always wish there was, but
the man is real, and he is obviously he's easily the cleanest player of all time in terms of input for input. Like you could argue like maybe like Pang, Toby, or some of those people. They are obviously really clean, but there are a lot of examples, and by a lot I mean like 3 to 4 of them spamming and stuff. I've never seen GH Noob do that in my life.
I've literally never not seen GH Noob hit something perfectly. Like,
yeah, he just hits it perfectly. No anchoring on like most of everything as well. If you don't need it, if the note's not there, he's not going to hit the button. Basically,
literally.
If there's no,
it's like a bot, but like with anchoring or whatever.
Sometimes
GH Noob.
Yes.
Just because I recall watching him back in the day, 2016, watching the stuff he was doing, and he was a big inspiration for me back then too. So and then he took to chiasm on Rock Band 3 so quickly, or something like that. Like it didn't take him very long to tech FC it, or
yeah, it does not surprise me.
Yeah, man's it's just built simply different, simply assembled, alternatively. He's assembled alternatively. It's actually wild. I wish he would come back. I would also wish that like Will would come back, but that's not gonna fucking happen ever.
I'm telling you right now, that's never happening.
Yeah, I know. I wish. A man can dream, but don't dream too much.
Wait, who's not coming back?
Will.
Yeah.
Yeah, never.
Yeah. Unfortunately, just absolutely, arguably the most well-rounded player, or one of them at least, because there's multiple contenders for it. But just him being good at basically every engine and every asset, including like being able to push Clone Hero, pretty far. With those Calamity Fortune runs, minus
Jesus Christ, bro.
Yeah,
those runs, Mike. You know about
Calamity Fortune runs, man.
Yeah, he knows about them. It's actually stupid. I think it was after like 2 days he had like a -6 or 7.
And nobody ever came close to those, even now. Like back then, nobody was even dreaming to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, that song, people that entire setlist paradigm is so fucked. Calamity needs to be like 2 more tiers higher. It's honestly such a hard song.
Yeah,
This
I was like, you know what? I want to play through like every paradigm. And I was like, man, I want to see what I could FC. I was like, all right, got to like tier 12. Then you start going into like tier like 13. That's when like shit turns to fuck, and it's just like it's just bad.
yeah. Live Wire is also one of those other songs that are completely dumb as fuck. And I don't ever see that song being FC'd, honestly. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah,
Um,
it's that song is in a very, very weird position because that song, I believe, was made before slide tapping was really innovated. Like slide spam, quad slide spam was not something that was really, a thing, very popularized back then. So yeah, the goal was to FC it, honestly, I guess. But now, if it gets FC'd, it's not going to be done that way. So in a way, the tiering is kind of maybe inaccurate, something like that.
yeah. Calamity Fortune is just a Jarvis fuckfest. I think he said he made it in like a day, that chart, because he had to like pump it out. And it's like, Jarvis just has a really good way of creating stuff that's insanely difficult, but you could absolutely see just like one player doing it in the future if they went for it for a long time. It's really,
Yeah,
really dumb. Like, I think even Frith now couldn't do better than a -6 in like a week on that song.
it's a really that chart.
Yeah. So we can switch this up a little bit. Obviously, Mackie's the special guest here, so we do have some questions here for Mr. Smackers.
Mr. Smackers himself.
Mr. Smackers Jam himself. What the second one here, as you've been around for a while. I mean, we all have, but you're the guest here. So, how would you say that your mindset has changed as you've, I guess, not only gotten better but just seen more gameplay, just been around longer? What is your general perception of how to get better? What is your general perception of what makes a player legendary, not just good, but something to be remembered for?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's kind of interesting with like how my mindset's kind of changed over the years. Like going back to like when I first started like picking up the game again back in like 2015, like right when I joined the game again, right when like Tap Notes came out for Guitar Hero 3, like Souls 4 just came out and everything like that. And like my big like go-to person that I watched like that first kind of like introduced me to even like the custom scene was Toby. And like I just remember like seeing all those tapping videos and being like, man, I want to do that. Like I want to get good at that. So I really focused on tapping for like a big like portion of like when I was first learning the game. Like I still like I played the other things. I played Flames a fuck ton because like when you're first starting to play the game, everyone does.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, you kind of have to. Like, yeah, that was kind of like my main priority. I was like, oh, I want to get good at tapping. So, I played a lot of tapping stuff, but, as I kind of like, got better and better over time. And as I've kind of just like, not just grown as a like player, but like literally grown as a person as well, like your mindset kind of changes about things. And like the big one for me, I think was like, I kind of had a realization one day. It was like I was even just like looking at my own accomplishments and like, yeah, like I have like all these I have these cool like tapping accomplishments, but like, like I haven't put, more time into like maybe strumming, recording or anything like that. I was like, you know what? Like, and also especially like as I was talking about earlier, like how you get burnt out, you need to kind of go back and what you find fun with the game. That was me. That was me like a lot. Like I remember many times where like I would literally like just have to take like at least like couple month-long breaks from the game because it was like the game isn't fun for me right now. So like going from that kind of like tapping mindset, like being like, oh, I really want to get good at tapping, to like, oh, like I want to get better at strumming, recording. Like it kind of like for me, it kind of made the game fun again. And my mindset kind of changed from I don't want to I want to be a good tapper. It changed from that to I want to be a good player. Like I want to be good at like everything this game has to offer me, and I want to like showcase that. So it's like, yeah, that's probably like the biggest, I guess, like kind of mindset shift that I had when I started.
What I can say for people who find themselves constantly bouncing around from what they want to become good at, one day I want to become good at tapping, next day chording, next day I want to be good at straight lines. What I can tell you is that if you spend a decent amount of time at anything in this game and then you go to something else, when you come back, it'll take you like a day to get back to that level. People will say like, "Oh man, I was so good at this and then I fell off." It's like, I'm sorry to tell you, but you probably weren't actually that good that you maybe thought you were. Because once you become good at something in this game, it doesn't leave you. Like we saw that with Toby, right? He came back out of nowhere in 2018, FC like crazy sent an off-road eruption on a fucking Explorer, and then he comes back in Tech FC Supernova.
Yeah, I want to say I do want to add, because that's a very important that's a very important point, that basically a lot of that stuff is really because there's like two, like every skill set I feel like can fall into two categories. One being muscle memory. Well, I mean, like stuff like stamina and speed, and I guess like strumming
Cringe.
falls into that as well. TY. All like stamina and speed stuff is, it doesn't take, I guess it doesn't take too long to get good at, but it requires, your constant love and attention to sort of stay at that level with that. So like if you don't, you're really fast and you don't play for a year, you'll come back and you might not be very close to being that fast. Meanwhile, with stuff like chording or reading and all this, tapping fundamentals, that's stuff that when you get good at, that doesn't really leave you because it's muscle memory. It's like playing an instrument. Like I remember, what is it? I used to play like saxophone like 10 years ago. The other day, like I think a few weeks ago, I picked up my instrument and I remembered all the fingerings like it was nothing. That sort of stuff. That sort of stuff doesn't leave you. And I feel like that goes, goes for like Clone Hero as well. So yeah, that's an important point. I feel like.
You can absolutely bounce around. That's something that I do. You could watch my channel, you could watch my videos in chronological order, and you can see the evolution of what I'm enjoying in the game and what I'm currently playing.
Absolutely,
it's a very one-to-one what I'm doing and what is uploaded. Someday you'll see like there was like a week where I just started uploading like stupid one-handing shit. Like I got the also slot pattern one-handed, and then I did stepping B one-handed at 150, and just random shit. And then it's like, all right, one-handing is boring now. I'm gonna go do this, and it's fun, and that's absolutely reflected. And then I can come back. I'm not gonna be able to bang out stepping B 150 one-handed in like 3 tries, but you're not far off. You did it once, you can do it again. That's the idea that I have. You did it once, you can do it again. Absolutely in my head.
Absolutely. I feel like, and once like, and honestly, I feel like a big thing, like component of it is like honestly, I think one of the best virtues you can have as a player is the concept of patience, right? Where it's like things are gonna take time, regardless of like no matter what, things are gonna take time, and like if you really are devoted enough and you care and you like the game so much that you want to put that time, like just know that it's not a linear curve. You're gonna have your ups and downs. You're gonna have your days where you just
can't hit
the guitar just feels broken. Nothing works. Your computer's on fire.
Yeah, your shit be lagging. Like you just be missing dummy shit. Your song starts without a gold ring, and you haven't even played the game yet. Like it just happens. I used to say all the time that back in the day when I first became known for like the Soul of a Robot stuff, there would be days where I literally just couldn't strum. Period. Like I literally couldn't even vibro the entire day. I'm like, well, this is it. I'm washed. That's what I used to think back then. Like, all right, well, I had my fun, but now it's GG. Like, I spent all the essence that was built up in my muscles. It's gone now. And that still happens sometimes, with some stuff. Like, you go learn a section for like a week straight, and then you get really close to it, and then like one of the brain dead sections or parts of it just becomes absolutely foreign, and you just have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah. No, like mental blocks are super. Like I've mental blocked literally probably every song I've gone for. Like
yeah, 100%. I'm there with you. Ties That Bind has haunted me for like 2 years at this point, dude.
oh my god,
It's fucking awful.
You know what was super frustrating when I was going for Flames, almost there was for whatever reason the most impossible section in the world. So I had like 4 or 5 almost there chokes.
I'm so glad I never choked that section. Got so lucky. I got so lucky because like those grace notes at the end there, I was so terrified of missing there. It's like the worst, but I got lucky, and I'm glad because I don't have to worry about that song ever again. At least, well, until I go for it on console.
What I can tell
you,
what I can tell you is that if I do want to go for that song eventually, that's just an axiomatic something you have to go for. That's not you don't have to. I've been playing this game for too long to not have given my shot at that song.
Yeah, at least for those that have been playing the game, like if you're coming to Clone Hero for the first time,
it's just a regular song to you. Like it doesn't matter, but it holds a lot of weight with me. It holds a lot of weight with all three of us, just because we grew up with that song being like the holy fuck.
Oh yeah, I mean it's like the song, right? Like you talk to anyone, like even like just any random person that probably knows like fucking nothing about Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
And you ask like, oh, Through Fire and Flames, they'll be like, oh yeah, isn't that like really hard song from that one game?
Or you just bring up Guitar Hero, like not even talk about that song, and they'll just be like, oh yeah, but can you play on Expert? And they're like, oh Jesus Christ, he's asking me if I can play on Expert. Yeah. Can we can you beat the song on Flames, Guitar Hero? I'm like, Jesus Christ, just stop talking. But I get it. And that's something I absolutely have to do. The biggest problem I'm gonna have with grinding that song is getting past all the shitty habits I formed as a kid, which involves strumming through hobos and hoping I passed. That's literally half the shit I'm gonna have to get past, because I just go fucking PTSD mode and start having Vietnam flashbacks and just start being brain dead on the fretboard, and that's gonna be annoying to get past. It won't take much, but it's definitely gonna be there.
I'm telling you right now, like I feel like most people agree, Flames is a fucking stupid grind. Like the entire song, yeah. Like there's just so much like random missable garbage. And it's like, man, like what is this?
It's annoying to keep retrying, and it's like, because it's, I mean, I don't know, I don't have I don't have as much experience with playing long songs, so maybe that's why. I think it's annoying, like you trying to FC up to the solo every single time, and then one shit miss and you have to go all the way back to the beginning. I don't know. That's what really annoyed me about the grind.
Yeah. So no checkpoints. Absolutely none. You have to go back every time.
Yep. You gotta hear like
you gotta look at that stupid ass red strum at the beginning.
That intro, yeah.
Castles.
Yeah, the castles.
I remember playing Flames for the first time. I played at a friend's house, and then like I think like a month or 2 later, I finally got the game for myself. And when I got to the end of the game and I heard that like intro, I was like, oh shit, this is the really hard song, isn't it, or something? Because my friend was telling me, yeah, this is the and I was like, oh man, this is this is real now. This is like I was almost intimidated a little bit by that. It's like. It's like with Rick rolling, when you hear the drums at the beginning, you're screwed. That sort of shit. Yeah.
No, everyone remembers the first time they saw the intro to that song and we're like,
"Holy fuck!"
What? I'm like, "Wow, what?"
Yeah, no, you see it in the credits, and you see the notes like sparkle, like you see the first red get like that sparkle on it that like every first note does on console, and and then you're like, "Ah, fuck me." And then you're just like, I'm not even, and you're worried about passing it in the credits, even though it's not a fucking rock meter. So you just like try your hardest out. Oh man, it's fucking beautiful. Apparently, someone has FC'd that version.
Wait, in the credits?
Yeah, I asked Alec about it. He said it has been done.
Wait, that's actually so wild.
That's fucking baller.
That's swag as hell. I can't even lie.
Yeah, that would be a cool ass thing to do. Just be like, oh yeah, I have seen flames on the credits. That's a cool ass video. Anyways, I've got one more thing to ask you about before we wrap this up, and it's kind of I have to ask everyone at this point, just because of just because it was a big moment. I asked Drew about it. He said he was in the bathroom at work when it happened. Where were you, and what was your reaction to 113 9FC2?
It was. I'm not gonna lie. I watched a podcast and I heard what Drew said and I literally felt the same thing. I saw the video and I saw you uploaded it and I was like, this is a joke, right? And like I watched the video and I saw like I went on Twitter like immediately after and I saw like what was going on. I was like, oh, this is real. Like,
Yeah.
wait, this actually happened. Like,
I still haven't heard
me
it.
Away.
Yeah, I also haven't heard this from your side, Explorer. I don't think you told me what happened.
Yeah, so I'll be honest. I kind of what is it? I think I knew like a day before or like 2 days before because I think I won't say, but I guess someone told someone else, and that someone else told me what was going on, I guess, in regards to that whole thing, because we were all sus about everything, for days leading up to it. The bakery was talking about it, and the person told me, I think like the day before, like, oh, this is going to be something it's going to be big when it comes out, and quote unquote, they said to me, he's faked more FCs than you can count on two hands, and I was like, oh my goodness. Like, so I wasn't like, I was shocked that it came out as fast as it did, because I thought that, I'm gonna be real, hearing everything that sort of went down before, I was thinking that what Jared said, that, Shmooey was gonna come out on his own, but nah, you guys made that video, and I'm really glad you made that video, because that's, that was not something that needed to be, I think what, everything that sort of happened, with, being exposed right away, the attention that it got, the Carl Jobs video and all the other videos, I think that does the situation justice, in my opinion. I feel like anything less than that, we've sort of failed in a way at, sort of, I guess, really, making sure not only it doesn't happen again, but for sort of, making sure that this person does not ever try to, do this again. So, but yeah, I was, so when I woke up for another friend, I woke up like early in the morning or something, and they sent me, and I got a DM from another friend, and I think he was like, oh, I'm not, what is it? I don't really want to talk about it, but here's this, and it was the video, and I saw the thumbnail for the first time. I was like, oh my God, Jesus. And it was like, yeah, it was pretty, and here's the, actually, yeah, never mind. I'm not going to say it, but like, yeah, maybe I'll say after the recording's done. But yeah, it was sort of like, there's so much stuff leading up to it that I was kind of like, it didn't like exactly surprise me too much, but at the same time, it was like, holy shit, he actually was fake the whole time. That was wild. That aspect of it was wild. So.
Yeah, honestly, personally, it was kind of like super wild to me, because Smoothie was like my melee partner. Like legit. I've talked to Shmooly a lot, and and I would talk like you'd obviously talk a lot about like the game and everything like that, and like he'd always be like, oh yeah, like I did this cool thing, and I'd always be like, oh yeah, that's sick as hell. And like, I don't know, it just kind of like it like, yeah, it just came kind of like, I think like I wasn't shocked that more or less that he cheated in some capacity, because I'm gonna be real. I saw the Flames 250 video when it came out. I was like, there's no shot. I was like, this looks sped up.
A lot of people thought that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, all right, like, come on, man.
There's a lot of clips in the Schmootage too that I could tell after were really sped up, and I've said this before. It's insane. Like anytime you go watch a Shmoo video now, how so obvious it is that it's faked. Like you can just see right through it. It's crazy. It's like you can't. It's like you when you see it, you can't unsee it. You know, that sort of thing.
Yeah, it really is kind of like the whole like retcon. It's like you go back and it's like, wait, how did I not notice this like right away? Like,
but it was a lot of shock to a lot of people. I had a lot of people DM me within the hour of that happening.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I DM'd you within like the hour.
Yeah, a lot of people did. Both of you did, I believe. And it was wild. I'm curious. I guess I don't have to be curious anymore because you kind of solved it for me and Drew as well. Alec, I was talking to Alec about it maybe on the 10th of January before we actually talked to Shmooey about it. And I laid out everything that we had. You know, I was like, hey, man, I DM'd him like at 3 a.m. I was like, hey, I was like, are you awake? I was like, are you awake? I've got some serious cheating allegations.
Alec with you up text?
Yeah, I sent Alec the you awake text. And then I said, we got serious cheating allegations about him. And he responded, he's like, you're joking, right? And then I had already DM'd, I think Jobu, Jared, and I were all in a group chat at that point. So I like just copy pasted everything and I just sent it to him. And it took him like 30 minutes, but he responded. It was just like unbelievable. And it wasn't like 30 minutes, I'm back at the PC now. It was like 30 minutes of staring what I had sent him. And he managed to type out unbelievable in that time. So he knew for a good 3 days. And I was just like, we're gonna confront him and I'll let you know what happens. And, you know, I got back, I told him like these are the things that were faked, which is all the things that we found in the that we put in the description of that video. That we like he admitted to and yada yada yada. And then obviously after that was, you know, it just took time for people to figure out the speed hacking stuff and how to show that from his side at least. And that was a wild time. Every Discord had people in the VC. Every Discord was screen sharing Shmooey FCs. Like screenshots of like, look at this timestamp, blah blah blah.
Literally, everyone was like LA Noir in that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, people were trying to crack the fake FCs. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a wild time. And
yeah, honest to God, I don't think I've ever like in my time being here, like I've never seen something like so like I've never seen so many people in the community like talk about one particular event to that magnitude.
Yeah. Like normally it's an FC, right? Like normally like, oh man, Megalodon is FC. Or holy fuck, Solo Sword. Fucking minuscule amounts compared to the amount of people talking about that shit.
It was really a wild time, and honestly, the thing that kind of got me the most it was not just the fact that he cheated. Period. Like again, I saw Flames 250. I was like, yeah, but like it was the magnitude. It wasn't just like a couple videos. It was like all of them.
Yeah, all of them.
I was like, oh my god, like he's really been just playing us the whole time.
He's really good at Among Us. He was really good at it.
Really good at Among Us.
Yeah.
He was good at lying to us in Among Us.
It's funny, an imposter got the community hooked on a game revolving around catching the imposter.
Mm-hmm. Man, I was looking at my clips of streaming Among Us, like when we were all playing, and there were so many Shmooey clips, and man, it just doesn't hit the same.
Yeah, it sucks because, you know, Mackee, you were obviously good friends with him. I was really good friends with him as well, and it's like a big part of your life that you kind of just have to write off now, which really fucking blows.
Yeah, it really does. Like, yeah, it honestly it was like someone just like it literally is like someone just like disappeared essentially. Like they're just gone. And it's like, man, that sucks.
Yeah, it's still crazy to think about that. Like, if you were to go back, I don't know. If you were to go back, it's actually been 5 months at this point. If you were to go back 6 months, December, just go back in time with what you know now, you would just walk into any Discord or look at any comment section or any stream, and you would just see that person, walking around like a free man, and you would be absolutely baffled. You would be so confused if you saw Shmoomy in person right now. Like, you would see a ghost.
Be like,
Yeah, I've thought about that.
hi.
Yeah, I've thought about what would happen if, like, you came across, like, someone in the community came across Shmoomy, and, like, you both know who each other were. Like, what would happen? Would one of us just, like, run away, or would, like, hands be thrown? Who knows? Anyways, you don't have to comment if you throw hands. That would be incriminating. It's a bad idea.
No comment.
No comment. No comment. Yeah. So that's gonna basically be about it. It was a little bit more clunky, this time around, because this was kind of an impromptu thing for people at home. It was supposed to be something else, but I mean, it was still. I'd say it's still a lot. There was a lot to talk about, and having Mike on here is always nice because he's a giga boomer in a sense. So it's
Definitely,
nice.
yeah.
So it's nice having.
Yeah, I'm an elderly Clone Hero player. I'm over 20.
Yeah, if
so.
you're over 20, you're an elderly Clone Hero player. That fucking tweet, dude. It makes me feel sad, bro. It makes me sad. It's like, god damn, bro. Like, I've never even filed my taxes once. I've always had help with that, and I'm already old. Like, Jesus Christ. But yeah.
I was like, man, it's kind of facts though.
Yeah, how do I report a tweet? How do I dislike tweets?
I'm in this tweet and I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like this tweet. I'm disliking it. Oh man. But yeah, that'll be it. So thanks, Mike, for being here. You'll be here again next week with Drew and Will.
Yeah.
And
Thanks for having me. It was a blast.
Yeah. I'd imagine that one will be a lot more you and Drew talking, and then like random ass soundboard things coming out from Will's mic.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's.
We'll see about that.
We'll see how many times we'll have like a counter how many times he procs a fucking soundboard cue or some shit. It's gonna be a good amount. I can tell you that people are gonna get trolled by Discord notifications or some shit.
That pisses me off so much. I check every time. I'm so gullible.
Yeah. He's uncontrollable. He's out of control. But all right, well, fucking peace, everyone.
Yeah.
GG's. See you guys.